Oh yeah! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Hope you're all doing good. Today we're going to be taking a look at what's new in the update of LumaFusion
3.1. Oh, baby!
Wicked stuff. But first, we're going to kick off with an artist who was on Ron Ward's show last night by the name of Glitch, Darkest Nut. Let's do it.
First dusk, first night, first blood in my first fight. Blue 2-2, cracking my skull on the move tonight. High as a kite, give us a light, can I pick up the mic? I'm sharp as a knife, decision precision, I'm splitting a mission at dusk tonight. My blood, my fight, a piece of the power, for pieces of eight. Don't be late, got money to make, a power, a soul with a voodoo shake, a bottle of rum and a hit to the snake. First punch, first cry, spitting blood in a fist fight. Dark night, you can't die, get up again for the dark ride. Each must switch with a beat that's filthy rich. Stitch bars with verse on the dark night, tip on the marvel ship, spit bars with a titan bitch, it's sick. Time, extreme time, got a peace of mind, I'll be feel fine. Not afraid of the dark, cause I still shine. I'm a mother of drama, I'm a wise guy. I'm a star in the sky that you won't find, but look behind, she's there tonight. That star to shine, just lost its light, it burned aside for us to fly. First task, first sight, first taste of this fight. Bitch, she glitch, she switched about tonight on a loop replay, not right. Glitch in the dark, not take first blood, and the mother shit went down like some don't cry. She's back again, she's ready for the dark night ride. It's morning, I'm clawing, she takes me back to the ring, but I'm stalling. Wings of the broken angel falling out of the sky. Let her try, can you hear me calling? Warning, she got me balling, hands on the ball, street fighting, talking chill fit, warning, gonna kill this ghost with an MC boast, I'm doing, house this clock's right 12 with Belvis, house calling, I'm contorting and distorting, we're resorting to the source code, we pull round to the crossroads, I'm sorting, blood lust, I'm fist fire, darkest night on the canvas, right, he's seeing birds, he's seeing stars, but still he spits his verse on the last, gotta get up, gotta hold tight, gotta keep moving, time with grind, signed by the mothership, chicken, striking the drinks, just supposed to be one more fight. This girl gang with people moving when I can't see straight, so I can't see you in a time low cubics height. Don't see it, don't be bad, the dead man blues. I choose to slide from his history tribe. I caught his flames in the dark night, right? No glitch in the vibe. Love shit and a fight with dark night, side by side with the glitch. Dark night plays guitar with a crossroad lick with a hand-made pick. Boom, stick, just an old blues man's trick. Worst luck in my first fight, I punched out, I'm seeing lights. Reboot like a Robocop and terminate this mother shit with a rhyme. Don't speak of the crime, she messed with time, the loop don't know my mind so much now. Hush, I believe I'm the darkest nut, I'm a glitch inside. Go to the next story, we survive, get smashed on the ground like ride. It's prime time again, on the floor we count to 10, spit bars with the teeth, don't recommend. No kung fu stars, I'm kicked in the head by then, I'm a dead man. Like I said, man, I'm the darkest nut, spit bars like a 10th down. First world, I find night, it's on repeat and it don't feel right, so I feel the beat and every bar inside got felt and kept it tight. Dark night and glitch, can strike with a brand new track and a hi-fi stack on board with a love for shit, no SOS, it's Wi-Fi. First round, first fight, first blood, that we draw tonight. Dark true day and the time we wave is paradox like a water chain. Dark night glitch. Relay, resurrect and bash my head on the love shit replay. Retune and wheel up, roll to the glitch 76 DJ. It's Starr on the mic, it's a brand new day, got a brand new fight. It's just my mind, I don't feel right, I'm tense, I'm tight on the mark, on the love shit flight. Just sit back and relax, reflect on I see black. I'm a dark night, and a glitch and I feedback in track. First blood in the first fight, can't believe I'm back again. It's time, well, I've got you by far with another strike. Dark night glitch. Dark night glitch.
What a way to kick off the show. That is Glitch, aka Darkest Nut, who was on Ron Ward's show last night. Hello, everybody. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. There's my name. Don't wear it out. You won't pick up any dates with it. And hello to everybody who is a Wart Warrior. You can become a Wart Warrior by clicking the join button down below for $1 a month, and you get all these cool custom emojis that people are using in the chat, like that sexy one right there that was put up with Russ. There it is. It's not working. Where's my comment? I can't put Russ up. There it is. I can get rid of that now. There's Russ. Look at Russ. He's holding an unt mug. Sexy times. So yes, that was Darkest Nut. Glitch, whatever you want to call him. He's awesome. Let me show you his channel. Let's see if I can get his channel happening here. Let's see. Boom, here we go. And I've been subscribed to Glitch for a while now. There you go. This is his channel. Go and sub him up. He's got crap tons of music here. So much music, it is ridiculous. And really interesting. He was on Ron's show last night, told his story. And you know what? I was really disappointed. There's only a very small amount of people there for the show last night on Ron to hear about Glitch. I guess people's music wasn't being played. Anyway, so I'm thinking about having Glitch on the show myself to go a little bit deeper, because his music really is incredible. The way he makes it and stuff, and his backstory. Really talented, unique artist. So sub him up. Go check out his stuff. He's really cool, independent, 100% true artist. Exactly what Russ has written here. He totally is. Independent, 100% true, unique, really, really cool. Yeah, boy. Hey, let's say hello to everybody who's here. And then we'll get into today's thingamajig. Whatever we're doing. What are we doing? I have no idea. I'm sure this guy knows what we're doing. Barry Glenn, hello. I'm sure Joe's not far behind, because we're doing LumaFusion. So they're both foaming at the mouth, waiting for this video. And there's going to be a lot more LumaFusion videos. Hello, Cy, effing good to see you. Always effing good to see you. Hello, Thomas Christ, Scott Borthwick. Who else do I see who's here? There's Joe. Hello, Joe. I'm not going to do the Pete and say, what do you know? Because it's done to death. There's Russ saying that Glitch represents in the house. Who else do I see? Hi, Jim. Shannon on sounds. Good, always good to see you, my friend. Leela's here. She's joined for the madness. And she's, yeah, you haven't been around, but here you are now, and that's all that matters. You don't have to be at every show, God. Only come to the shows that you want to. Unless I put a gun to your head. Hello, Kim Harden Hudson, with all the people in the the emoji section. I'm going to update the emojis tomorrow, so some of you may disappear, but you'll be back. Trust me. Some of you may disappear. I'm just going to put in a few new ones in there, just for a bit of a laugh, bit of entertainment. Who else have I missed? Anyone else? So Jamie Melander, I can say.
Dude!
That was interesting. I don't know what the hell happened then. Andy Goldsby, what's going on? Good to see you. Man, it's early. I haven't had enough coffee. What is going on? I think I saw a Chandler. I saw a Chandler in the wild. Where's that Chandler? I saw a Chandler in the wild. There's the Chandler. Oh, God, I'm going to do David Edinburgh. And if you look closely, you will see a Chandler in the wild. There he is, a Patrick Chandler in the wild. Where do I get emojis? Jim, take a photo of yourself. Take a photo of yourself and check the community post. Check the community post that is singled out to members. Take a photo of yourself and send it to me, and I'll turn you into an emoji. All right? Do that for me, and you can have an emoji. There is a community post that tells you how to do it. All I need is a photo. There is instructions. So follow the instructions. Go to the community tab on my channel, and you'll see a special thing for yourself. And we'll do that. Yeah? So have I got everybody? Have I said everybody? I think I've said hello to you all. If I haven't, fucking slap me around the face. Good stuff. Let's jump over and have a look at if there's any price drops, anything changed, anything like that. I doubt it. A tuna. We've got a tuna for 99 cents because everybody loves a bit of tuna, don't they? Delicious tuna. Tuna. I'll try and say tuna. There we go. Tuna. You have a guitar tuna. MIDI Designer Pro Spatializer. Nothing's changed from yesterday. Nothing's changed. Boring, boring. So let's just jump in and talk about LumaFusion, shall we? Oh, no, what I want to talk about is quickly. Now, I did the stream yesterday on progressions, and guess what? Paul already put out a new update, and it's really cool. You can drag and drop stuff around now. So yeah, check it out. Probably in 2 weeks' time, because I'm sure there'll be a bunch more updates. I'll do another show on progressions, and we'll cover all that stuff there. Yeah, I won't try and jump the gun, but today we're looking at LumaFusion, which is $29.99, a once-off payment. You own it. It's yours. You can put whatever you want in. You make videos, all this kind of stuff. We will be doing, over August, 4 episodes on LumaFusion, 4 really big hour-and-a-half episodes on each section of LumaFusion for deep diving. I'm going to try and give you 2 really cool things today that you probably didn't know about LumaFusion, and we'll take a look at the updates, and I'll do my best to try and explain what the hell is going on. All right, so hopefully I can do this for you. Let's open it up, shall we? Let's open up LumaFusion, and I'm going to try and explain what these things are. So I've got some videos in here straight away. What I'll first tell you is, look at this. I have a completely clean project file. I've only got 1 project in here. Why is that? Since we last talked about LumaFusion at the start of this week, I went in and I removed everything from my folders. I cleaned out a crap load of space. Just check here. Hello, Dean. Is Dean here? I can't even see him. Why can't I see him? Anyway. If he is here, hello. I can't even see the comment. Anyway, what I'm going to... So I want to show you this first. So you'll notice in my folders, see this, last time I did the show, I had this section down here called Cached Media. And my cached media was really full of stuff. It had like 600 things. I think it was 600 things in it. All right. I cleaned all this out. And now you'll notice there's only 9 things in there. 9 things. And I want to show you how to do this. So if you need to clear space from your LumaFusion, let's talk about this. This is the best way to do it, the best way I can suggest. Because every time you download a video or photo or sound effect from LumaFusion Storyblocks, it puts it into a Storyblocks folder. You need to be aware of this, right? And every time you import a photo into a project, it puts it into this cached media folder. And it's really hard to go in here and delete these. You have to individually click on this to go into delete, but then look, there's no delete button, right? You can, here is the way to do it. So let's pay attention to this, and I'll show you exactly what I did. You go into your Files app, and it's a good idea to get used to your Files app and understand how LumaFusion works. Right, and the file structure. It just is good for you to know. Here is your LumaFusion folder, and here's what's inside it. You've got your library media. These 2 are the ones I want to focus on, library media and your user media, these 2 things. And you have project backups. Now, in my project backups, I had well over 2,000, I think it was around 2,000 or 1,700 backups in there. And I went and deleted all these because a lot of the projects had this next to it, project deleted. So what that's saying is that project's no longer in LumaFusion anymore. So this backup is pointless. And a lot of my backups were all, so I just went in, deleted all this. Because I started a fresh palette, yeah? So there's that. We have our library media. Now, these are the 2 folders which we just talked about in LumaFusion, your cached folders. This is your photos. So anything you import in as photos or anything, they go in here. And anything that you save from Storyblocks goes in here. And it's saved in there. So what I did was select both of these, yeah, like that so, hit move, and then I move them down to my external hard drive. And let me show you where they are now. So it's a good idea, if you've got an external hard drive, just to be safe, copy the entire LumaFusion folder onto a hard drive. Just do it. So you've got a backup of everything that's in that LumaFusion folder. And then you're not going to go wrong with that. But here I have LumaFusion files. So as you can see, I've made a complete backup of my LumaFusion. So now when I go into library media, I've got, this is an old backup I did, and I've just named it old. And this was the ones I removed this week. And look at all these files. Are you ready? These are all from my photo library. 426 there were of those. And in Storyblocks is even worse. Look at this. It is just phenomenal. Now, these are not. Look at the size of these things. Some of them are like a gig. Some are like 200 megabytes, 500 megabytes. This is a lot of files in here. 681 videos, images, sound effects. This is everything I've ever pulled down from Storyblocks. So now I have all this in a folder on my hard drive. So if I want to drag anything back in, if it's not in Storyblocks anymore, I have a backup of all of this. And you can see just by scrolling to the top, clicking up here and changing this to size, and you can start to see the size of these files. Look at this. 510 meg, 455, 349, 326, 226. These things take up space. I cleared 90 gig by removing these. 90! 90 gig. Look at these photos. Look at this. This puke photo from the FMC video. 4.9 gigabytes. 3.42 gig, 2.2 gig. There's a lot of stuff in here. This was all from the FMC videos, and there's so much stuff. So you just got to be aware. What happens is LumaFusion saves all this stuff for you, right? It's quite intelligent. And I'm going to tell you now in LumaFusion where you can see this and how the cleanup works. So here we are back in LumaFusion, and in the settings down the bottom here, where it says cleanup, remember, if you go back and watch my show from Monday, or what was it, Sunday for most of you living in the past, when you go in here, unused cached media, you can see this was, I think this was up to it was like 90 gig, all of this. That was both of those folders. So once I cleaned this out, all this went back to 0. And the cached media, so all clean up cached media. So you can start, by finding out what's in those folders, you can start to understand how this cached media works and what's being used and such. So there you go. All right, what are we doing today? We're going to look at these new features. So where should we start? So this is 3.1, the newest update, and we'll open up this project I've got here, which is just some drone footage. I've got a mixture of drone footage and stuff. First off, I want to show you what one of the first improvement features is. And you may know this from using LumaFusion a lot. When you would take your finger like so, yes, like this, and grab something to drag it into your timeline, you would actually have to hold it for a second to actually grab it. They've fixed up the speed of how you can import things. So now, really quickly, I can just touch something and drag it. Oh, that didn't work. I'll tell you why that didn't work. It's because I have this. Let me change this setting because it's pissing me off. Preference, what is it? Where did I turn this on the other day? With my finger pointing gesture. I hate it. Show touches. Turn that off. I don't like it. So now you can just actually grab something and bring it in really quick. See how quick that was? Super fast. So they've improved the speed of importing video and images into your timeline. So that's really good that they've done that, because it was a little bit slow. You would have to hold it for a second and then drag it in. But they've fixed that up. So that's nice, a nice little improvement just to save time, all that jazz. If we go down here as well, just jump out of this project. Let's take a look at this button down here. I'm not even full screen, am I? There we go. Let's take a look at this button here. So when you click on this, this little thing pops up here. Import LumaFusion project package. Project packages contain the media, timeline, and title data necessary to play the project. So now you can actually import this in from wherever you like. So if you've got your projects set to a file or a place, you can add sources from here. So I can go in here and I can add my hard drive, go into Files app, and do all that kind of stuff. Plus, you also have this nice system to restore project backups. This is nice and neat, and they never had this before. So the way this works now, they've fixed up the way that projects are saved. So I think they're saved, you can see here, it tells you how long they're saved. We can see 5 events, what time is it? 9:16. When the date was this? If I click on it. So there's the date, 7th of the 20th. So these were yesterday that these were saved. So you've got these little saves, and you can go back and grab any of these if the project still exists, and you can go back, and it's just a really neat way of bringing in your backups. So if you've stuffed up something monumentally, you can go back and find your backups in here. It's a nice touch. Very, very welcome to have here. So to help you understand more what your backups are, because really the backup system was quite a pain in the ass for a long time. Now the two main features of these updates is the LUTs. So you get some LUTs in here, and the new histogram and the stuff like that. So let's jump in and have a look at that, and I'll try and explain how this works to my best. Now remember, I am not a professional videographer. There's heaps of other channels out there who can explain this a whole lot better. One that I can recommend is Rob HK. One word, Rob HK. He is sensational. He has so many great packs and stuff that you can get for LumaFusion. His explanations are really cool. So if you want more on that, definitely go and sign up to Rob. So we have this video in here. I'm probably going to start with this one. Now this is taken straight from my drone. It's got no effects on it. This was just shot directly from my drone. It's got a whole lot of different lighting and stuff, because, you know, the drone is flying directly into the sun, then it's coming around to shadows. So, and this would be a good way to show you our color wheels and stuff. So what you need to do is select on this. Now there are 2 ways to get to this. Once you've selected your video, you can either hit the pencil down here, and it'll take you straight to, it'll open up the edit screen, and it'll have your scopes down here. All right, so you can do that, or you can get out of here and just double click on your video, and it'll bring you here, and your scopes are up the top here. So to access your scopes, they are up the top. Now, if you hold down on this button here where the scopes are, if you hold down on it, you'll get a bunch of options. And these are different ways you can view your scopes. So you have a 3-scope selector. Now I'll just bring these in so they're all different. So you've got 3 scopes there you can have down the bottom. If we hold down again, you can have a 2-scope view. And you can have the same ones over and over and change the views of those same ones. So then you've got this one here. Then you've got a small and a wide. You have a top and a bottom. Or you can just have one by itself. We'll go with the 3 at the moment. So all 3 scopes. You have a little toolbar here, so you can pull these up to make them bigger, and you can bring them down really small. And the way it works, you'll notice as I lift the tool, the video will move up till it gets to that point there. And then once it gets to that point, your scope will go over the top of it. So be aware of that. It's a good idea to, so it gives you a fair bit of room. Now, these scopes, you're probably looking at them going, oh, this is all a bit too confronting. And yeah, it can be, but hopefully I can explain it so you'll understand the power of what these can do. Now, these don't magically make your videos better. You use these to try and look for inconsistencies in your what they're best for is to find the best kind of coloration of your videos and they're really good for finding white balance and really good for matching skin tone. So if you've got a video where your skin tone is out, you may have shot it and it's very blue looking, you can bring it back to a very natural skin tone. So that's what these are really good for. And each one of these do very independently different things, yeah? Leela's brain, this is your brain right now. That's nice and delicious. Can I lick it? All right, so first I'm going to kick off today with hello Mix Club. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to start off with the middle one. The middle one. Let's click on that, and I'm going to go full screen with it. So we'll choose this one up here. Whoops. So I've chosen this single frame, and to access these, each of them have a little drop-down arrow here. So you can click on this, and then you can choose between the histogram, the waveform, or the vectorscope. They are the three tools that you have within these, yeah? So I'm going to choose the waveform to start off with. And I know you're looking at that going, what the hell is that? What is this all about? What does it do? Well, it takes the colors that we have in our video image and they are represented. You can see pretty much that this image is represented in the colors. So the majority of the grass here is represented in here. Right? And the sky is across here. So everything is represented in colors. Now look at the shadow over here of these trees. See this shadow down here? You can see the darkness over here, which is representing that shadow. And we have some numbers. Let's zoom in a little bit. We have some numbers down here on the side, 0 to 255. And what this represents is 0 is black, right? 0 is black. And up the top here is white. And these are all of the colors in between. So you'll notice, right, now that I've explained that, down the bottom here we have this huge line. That is representing the darkness down here because this is completely black, right? So, and if I start moving the video, you will see it actually follows what's happening with the video. So now we're in this little scene here of this street. Yeah, and you can see along the bottom here, we have this shadow along the bottom. And along here, we have this white kind of darkness along the black, which is representing all that. And up the top, here's that sky across here. So you can see a representation of the color, right? That's what this is all about. So you can actually see a representation of what's going on with the color. And the reason this is, just like you have with music, I'll bring myself back in here. Just like you have with music, if you turn up music too loud, what's going to happen to it? The music's going to get loud and it's going to distort and it's going to sound shit. Much the same with video, colors and the saturation of colors can distort and be horrible. So And what this can help you, what this helps you do is identify where the image is being oversaturated. So, and how you can do that is by looking where these the lines of these colors go out of the screen. Now, what do I mean by this? So over here with our color presets, if you just click an original, so you have all these color presets in your first tab here. When you click the original one, so you've got like, you see anti-green, cool it, all these different little filters here. But when you hit the original one, this doesn't change your photo. Everything's still the same. This is a zeroed out filter for you to play around with, all right? So it's made no difference. So it's good to start with something like this. So now I can show you by changing these little levers here, you will see what will happen to these colors. So let's start with the levels which pertain to shadows and highlights. Yeah, that's what these pertain to. So, and you can see as I'm moving these, you can see under at the bottom, the black, and it's represented here. See this dot here? This is black. And this is white, right? So as I bring this down, the black starts lifting from the bottom, right? So I'm actually bringing that up from the bottom. So this is if you, and they call it clipping. It's like with audio. So if you've got audio that's too loud, it's going to clip. And it's the same with the color and saturation, all that stuff with the video. they call it clipping, and you don't want your images clipping. See up the top in this corner, the sun's so bright up there, this is actually starting to clip. Now I can control that and bring this down. Now see how these lines over here have dropped now below. So, and that sky is not clipping anywhere near as much. It actually looks more natural. But if we take it back to where it was, you know, it's you can see it start to wash out, and that's known as clipping. You can see the colors underneath, the green and all these colors here, they're starting to get out of the picture, and you can see the actual video clip. So this is pretty much just a spectral representation of your video. Very, very handy stuff. I mean, this is what so many professional videographers use. And here we have it in LumaFusion, like on our iPads. Very impressive stuff. And it doesn't take rocket science to understand it. So don't be intimidated by it. You can't fuck up your image with it, because at the end of the day, it's got to be pleasing to your eye. You want it to look how you want it. Yeah, these are just guides and tools to help you from not overexposing your images. So, and as you can see, when we move these bars in here, the middle section of the colors shrink and come closer together, and you can see that the image gets really like dulled out here. So this is just a representation of what's going on in your photo, because, you know, before now, all we had was these little bars here, and you're just dragging them willy-nilly going, I hope this makes it look better. But now you've just got this representation. Hello, Mr. Smith. I hope you're doing well. And again, as we pull down, you can see everything getting closer. We take these grays. So you've just got absolute control over this. You can reset these easily just by double tapping them. So let's start with, I think our blacks are okay. So if we double tap that, but if we bring down these whites, we're just going to tidy that up a bit. It looks a bit nicer there. I reckon about there. So we're not clipping here. There's no clipping. It kind of looks respectable. Let's do that. Cool. Now let's play around with the brightness and see what happens when we do that. Now you can see it just brings the whole thing down. So we are bringing this whole color palette all the way down and darkening that. So let's bring it down a little bit, but let's bring up the contrast, and the contrast is spreading this out. So it's spreading the colors and adding contrast. Let's move this up a little bit. So you can see by playing around with these and using your eyedropper, there's not much change there. And, you know, like music and like compression and like reverb and all these things, less is more, remember? You just want to mess around with this to get the best that you possibly can. You know, you don't want to be super drastic and just blow the colors out of the water. Now you'll notice when I change the saturation, not much is going on there. Nothing's really changing there. Same with the vibrance. Nothing's really going on. Right? We're all good because we're focused on this section here with the contrast. Oops, why have I lost? Oh, because I've got it. I'm wrong there. So now if you notice, sorry, the saturation, if I pull the saturation back, all the colors disappear from this Videoscope. And now it's gone to a monochrome. So you can actually see the colors come in and out, and you can see the vibrance of them as well. So right now, with that vibrance up so high, look at this line across the top here. We are clipping the fuck out of this. This isn't what you want. Everything's so clipped. All these blues have just bunched up the top. That's not what we want. So, you know, you want to bring these down and have some consistency. We can bring this up to about here. And let's bring some saturation in. We'll lower the brightness a bit. And look at the difference already. So the colors look much nicer with a very small amount of tinkering, but it's a little bit darker. So, but that could be what you're going after, yeah? So we can actually bring this down a bit, like so. Then we can add some brightness back in here. And look at the difference between, that's the original. So we really haven't changed too much. But it's all going to be, at the end of the day, subjective and down to your eye. But these are just guides to help you with your colors and such. And what's great, also, one of the new features with LumaFusion, if we turn this on and close it out, you can add multiple of these color presets now. Back in the day, I think you could only add one of these, and then you could maybe add one from this section and then one from this section. But now you can go in here and add multiple originals. So now we've got another one here. I can add another one in, and you can really mess around and create some really interesting stuff. So the possibilities are endless. Plus, you can go in here and you can add LUTs on top too. So what are LUTs? LUTs are pretty much almost like these color presets, but they're used for corrections. And LumaFusion have given you, let's pop over to our LUTs thing. So I have here, you can see a bunch of user LUTs, which I got from Rob HK. If I scroll past these, you'll now find in your LumaFusion these LUTs here that just says LUTs. And these are from LumaFusion. They're given to you from LumaFusion to correct cameras. So you can save your own LUTs too. So you might have a particular camera that has a very washed out kind of look, and you can create a LUT that you use every time you use that camera. So every time you go out and film something, you've got a LUT saved that's going to just correct everything to be a nice launch pad. Say this one here, we'll grab this one, this filmic D-log. We'll add this one, and look what that's done automatically. Like if we remove these jump off points that I'd done, this is what this LUT has added, this filmic D-log. So it's darkened everything, but look what it's done to that sky. It's really made that sky quite interesting. So then from here, we can decide with a LUT, you can actually decide the blend amount you want to do with this. So we may find this is enough. Yeah, so I can just come in here, pull this down a little bit. There's the original. Look at that. Look at the difference there. That looks so much nicer. And then let's just I'll just remove these two here for the sake of it. And then, so now that we've got our LUT in here, then I can come over the top and I can add my own take on top of this LUT to maybe give it a bit more brightness. See, that's way too bright. You can see with our distortion down here, take out some contrast. You have the power to do all of this kind of stuff. So let's just do that. So again, it's all up to taste. There's the original. Looks washed out and terrible. Looks gross. And now if we add these, it's kind of looks, and now let's play the video. So it's a bit darker, but yeah, it's really good to do this stuff. That's all I need to say, yeah. So it's probably a bit dark, but yeah, it's all going to be up to your taste. So that's just a brief overview of that particular thing. Let's go in and look at this. I'm just going to grab this video here. Where is it? Videos. Videos, because I made this. I'm just going to drag this video in here. So this I'm going to explain next. So again, to jump into the palettes, I'm going to hit the pencil to jump into our sections up here. So our Videoscopes. And what we're going to have a look at next is this. We're going to have a look at the Vectorscope. So what does the Vectorscope do? The Vectorscope is really good for finding skin tones and for color management, right? So what I'm going to do is this little image here that I have, this video, if I scroll through it, these are just some color pads that I'm going to use as an example, yeah? So as you can see with this video image, these colors here are, of course, our RG, yellow, blues, all that kind of stuff. So, and the line underneath is skin tones, and this is our black and whites, yeah? So what I'm going to do to show you the full effect of this is just jump down here. And I'm going to do some cropping. And let's crop this out. I'll do it with my finger. So I'm going to crop out all this stuff here, and I'm just going to keep the colors. I'm going to get rid of the skin tones. Let's just keep these colors here. So I've just cropped that. Now we'll go back to our Vectorscopes, and we'll bring this up a little bit because we've got a bit of room to bring this up. And what you'll see is a representation of these colors on this board. So these, in the center of this graph is your zero white, if you could say, or black, whatever it is. So in neutral, let's just say neutral. And you can see these lines that are pointing out to the colors. And what you want is to have these matched as close as possible, because these are this is what the colors should be like. So if we jump up here to our color presets and just grab another original, and it doesn't change these colors. What you'll see is if we scroll down and we take a look at our red, green, blue, and our hue, as we move these to the red, you can see all these lines actually migrating to the red because we're adding red. And then if we pull back, they're migrating down to cyan. Yeah. And then if we're moving over to green, or we're moving over to magenta. So you can get a representation of how good your colors are, how spot on they are to the colors that are happening. So this is just an example, of course. And here are our blues and yellows. And then if we move the hue around, you'll see them spinning around to match whatever hue is being selected by this slider. Bringing it back to the middle, brings everything back to the middle. So you want these to be pointing exactly how they are right now. And you're able to use this color chart to make sure all your colors are in check. But not only that, this is really good for finding a white balance. Really good for finding a white balance. Now, if I jump back over here to our image and uncrop this, let's just uncrop this. And I'll show you with the skin tone. So we'll crop back in because these middle palette here are skin tones. And I want to show you the skin tone line. The skin tone line, very sexy. So you'll notice this line running up here with the actual scope. This is your skin tone line. This gives you exactly how you want. This is the perfect calculation of what a good skin tone should be. So when you're in here, if you zoom in on a person's skin tone in a video, see how I've cropped into this image here to crop in. If you've got a video with a person in it, you can crop it to like part of their face and do similar of what I'm doing here, and then head over to your vector. And what you want is to get the perfect skin tone. You want all these lines to be running along here. Now you'll notice if I start moving this around, you can see how all these lines are moving across to the reds, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So if you've got an image that's quite blue, you may have to come in here and remove this to get it to that skin tone, right? So, and you can actually come in and fiddle with the colors until you can get everything as close as possible to this skin tone. So you can fiddle around with it. Now, skin tones aren't always, perfectly skin tone. Sometimes there are like yellows and reds in there. So that's why they're on either side of this. Yellow and red are a part of skin tone. So yeah, it can be used to really get a good skin tone, to match a skin tone. But not only that, you can do a white balance using this as well. And I'm going to show you how you can do that with a video. Shall we do that? Let's jump in here we'll try this video here, right? So I'm going to double click on this video. Now you can see here, look at all this crazy color, because there's a whole lot of color going on in this video. There's heaps of things happening in it. So when we move around, we've got, the lights in the back, and as you can see me moving around the Videoscope, it's representing all these colors, right? But I want to get a decent representation of what my room looks like. Because see this color of this wall? It's not that color, it's white. It should be white. So how am I going to do this? How am I going to get that to be white balanced to try and make everything look more normal? It's just the lighting in this room isn't good when I'm not using my softboxes. Well, we can do that. So again, I'm going to jump over to here and we're going to start cropping. I want to crop out everything here. except the wall. That's what I want to do. I want to get this wall, focus on this wall here, and that should be fine, yeah? That should be good because it is a white wall. Now, if we jump back over here and we'll zoom this out, remember what I said at the beginning, the middle, the center is no color. It is black, white. It is the center of it. And you can see this dot here. It's not in the center, is it? It's not there. We need to get that dot in the center to get this corrected. So what I'm going to do is once again head up to our original. And what I need to do is move these colors till we can get that dot in there. And it's just going to take a little bit of, so let's move that there. Let's move this over, see if we can bring that in there. Pull this back. Pull this one back. So we want to get it as close to the middle. And it's just going to take a little bit of piss farting around. That's close to the middle. That's close. Are we good? We're probably a little bit off. I can bring that back a bit. It's probably, let's come back here. It's going to be, maybe. It's a bit high, I think. Maybe it's a bit high. Now, remember what I said at the start of this show. I'm not an expert on this shit. I'm winging it. I'm doing my best to do this. So, let's take off these crops. Where did my mic go? I'm going to take these crops off. And it's not perfect, is it? But it seems a bit like, let's go in here back to this. And where are you? Scroll. That, it feels like it looks more like my room. Yeah? Like, look at that desk. That desk looks like, when I look over at my desk, which is over here. Can I do it? There we go. Oh, but I can't do that. Can I do the camera? There. No, that's not working. I can't do both. Damn, I don't have that set up. But it looks more like this over here. The color seems to represent that much better. To me, anyway. So, compared to when I turn that off, look at that. It's, it's gross. So just with a little bit of messing around there, it's probably, I could fix that up a bit with contrast or whatever. So you've got all those options here. Now, while we're in the color wheel as well, remember, I'm not an expert at this. I'm doing my best to explain it. So what you'll also notice too is with this scope, when I pull down the saturation, everything comes in. And when I increase it, this is where you get clipping. So this is, again, where things are clipping. It's going outside the means of saturation. Same with the vibrance. We're really sending that center out. So, but, again, with all this stuff, you can be subtle and bring in and really create some nice tones. We can add a bit of vibrance to this. So there's the original. Look how washed out and shit that looks. To there, it just looks more natural. So you can do this with, if you've got a video that you've recorded and everything's a bit bluish, then you would go in and use this for that, yeah? So let's go back. Let's look at the last scope, shall we? So also in here too, what I need to cover, let's see if I can get this on the screen. Within these settings, you can change these as well. So see here, we've got show skin tone. So you can turn off that skin tone line. Let me just bring that up so you can see what's going on. So you can turn off the skin tone line in here. There you go. So that's gone if it's annoying you. Again, with the waveform, we can go in here and change from RGB to YCBCR. So you can change there. You can actually turn off the reds, the greens, and the blues to get a representation of what's happening just with one particular color, yeah, in the waveforms. So you can see exactly what's happening, which is nice. And then let's look at the histogram. So in the histogram here too, you have a bunch of settings. You have an overlay, which shows all of the colors stacked on top of each other, including black and white. So your Luma, yeah. Then you have this horizontal parade, which has your RGB and then your Luma there for you, your all that there, or you have a vertical parade. And again, with these, the 0 is black, 255 is white, much like the first one that we looked at. So you can see, and you can turn these off as well. You can turn off the reds and just have the Luma, so you can control what you actually see in your histogram. Probably see it a bit better here if I do this. So here's just your grays, all that kind of your illuminance, is that what you call it? Your blues, and you can see as you add these, they stack up there. So, you know, and as you would know from a color palette, let me bring myself in here. From a color palette, you can see when you've got like blues, reds, greens stacked on top of each other, you get the colors that come from putting colors on top of each other, and they're represented here. Good stuff. So, but let's talk about the overlay again. Well, we haven't covered this yet. We'll do this quickly and then get the hell out of here because I've only got a few minutes. So again, with this video, as we scroll through, you can see the colors happening. Now, if we bring this down, let's use a different instance for this. Let's use, because we've got Thomas Christ up next, let's use this footage here. Now, what you'll see is there's black in this, yeah? There's definitely black shadowing. There's black around here. And as I said, this is at 0. So this is where your black is. And you can see how it's quite sharp and quite pushed up here. So this is where your blacks are. We can go in and let's remove these. We'll just remove these quickly. Boom and boom. So without this, look at that. So you can see there's white there, there's not much black there, but as we add a filter in here and start messing around with these and pull the blacks out, you're starting to get a representation. Now, what I can say, the best kind of representation you want to get with these things are peaks and mountains. So just showing with my finger here, you don't want everything bunched up into one corner. You want an even spread of colors and such. And you can see these change as you move. Now, obviously, when we get to somewhere like here, very, very bright corners in the sky. So you can actually change that. You can kind of tone these things down. So good stuff. Anyway, as I said, go and watch Rob HK to get a bit more insight on how to do this. This is just a brief overview of what these things can do. We've got 7 minutes, so I want to cover some other cool little tricks that I've learned that may help you with projects, yeah? So, for example, I'm going to bring in this Amber Heard video. Yeah, how long does this go for? I'm just going to bring this, it's probably a bit short. Let's drag this video in here. I'm going to drag this in to the middle of a project here. Do you have to keyframe those moves? No. No, I'm just moving the slider. So for example, I want to show you this little trick here. Just say I want, I've done this wrong. Let's remove this. So I want to bring in this video here. But what I want is, I want this section. I'm going to trim this. And I just want this bit with Darth Vader, right? I just want that. I want the camera to go like this and just this bit here. Right, so I just want that in my video. So now I'm going to drag this in, put that in there. So now we've just got that bit with Darth Vader. But I decide, but I don't want to change my timeline, right? So I've got this bit in. Let's zoom in so you can see this part goes for what, 323. But I've got a huge project and I want to replace this with a different part of this particular video. But I want to keep the same amount of time. I don't want to disturb the length of the video. But I want the bit at the beginning of this clip. Well, there's a way to do this. And see these little arrows here? If you click on them, look what it does. It brings you back to your timeline here, and it selects the section you have down here. And this is so cool. You can grab this now with your finger and move this anywhere you like on the timeline. So I want to get in this iPad. So now I've kept the same amount of length of this video, but I've been able to change it to something completely different. Yeah. So again, I'm going to change this now back. I want the Darth Vader helmet back now. So I'm going to take this little section here and move it over here. And now we have the Darth Vader helmet back in. So if you've got a timeline that's fully got this kind of stuff in it, you don't want to mess with those. It's imperative that you have this section here be 3 minutes 23. That 3:23. Or what is it? It's not 3 minutes. 3 seconds 23 or whatever it is. Yeah, it's imperative that you keep that amount of time. But you want something else out of it, you can do that, and that's this little button here. It's really, really cool. You can just drag anywhere within this timeline to grab some other part of the video that you've imported. Pretty neat little trick, yeah? So that's your little bonus thing. And I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing that you can do in here is stack up audio stuff. So you can go in here. You can actually, if we pull the audio apart from this video here, if I just separate the audio, we can double click on our audio. And the only other thing you can do that's new in 3.1 is stack effects. So here, if I want some dynamic processing on here, I can click that and it'll add a dynamic processor. And if I want to add another one, I can add another one. And you could only add one of these before. And then if I want a limiter, I can add a limiter. I want another limiter, I can add another limiter, I can add another limiter. You can add as many limiters and processing things as you want. I want a reverb. Let's add one reverb. You know what? I want 2 reverbs. That's cool. And you can actually reorder these now. So you can move them around, reorder them. And the same thing with your color. So if we add a color preset, and then add another preset, and then add another preset. I don't think you can do it with these. So oh yeah. So you can reorder these as well. You can actually reorder them into places. So there you go. That is pretty much all of the updates. Pretty fancy stuff. Like this is bleeding edge technology. This is stuff you find in super expensive video editing stuff, all those scopes. But yeah, do some research. Go check out Rob HK. He's an amazing YouTuber, and he'll walk you through it and with more knowledge than me, because I'm a dum-dum. I don't know what I'm doing. It's really good advertising, isn't it? Anyway, so that's it for today. Now, we're going over to Thomas Christ, who has his show, You Rock. All right, good stuff. So You Rock is coming up next. If you got your auto view set, hello Gary Hubbs. If you got auto view set on your YouTube, as soon as this show ends, it'll dump you over there straight away, and you'll be able to watch Thomas straight away. Or just wait till the end and click the little thing, because it'll send you over as well. Yeah, LumaFusion does. It just gets better and better. And as I said, I will be doing 4 very deep dives during August, and hopefully have some giveaways and stuff too for patrons as well. Anyway, that is that. Good stuff. What do you got coming up tomorrow, my friends? We have an interview with my good friend, and he'll be your good friend afterwards, Riley DC. And if you're into metal, make sure you come and check it out. Lots of laughs tomorrow, because we're old friends and we're just going to be shooting the shit, FMC, all this fun stuff. He's an awesome guitarist, fantastic, sick guitarist, and really cool dude to boot. So hopefully you can join us for that. And on the weekend, guys, don't forget the YouTube community covers show. I'll be singing all these songs on the weekend. It's going to be sick, good fun. And I hope you're here for it, because I've been practicing all these people's songs, and I'm going to do my best to make it sound awesome. All right, guys, that's it. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. And guess what? We'll all rise together, and I'll see you tomorrow. Boom, 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 boom. Bye-bye.